My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. All right, today's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about writing solos, and I don't want to sugarcoat this for you. It's probably not for absolute beginners. Although we are going to start very slow, very basic, the difficulty level is going to escalate pretty quickly, so you already need to know some stuff about chords and scales and intervals and probably have several songs that you can play comfortably well. But as always, the goal is not this song. The solo that we're doing today is not special at all. In fact, it's not even made up yet. We're going to make it up together. But the goal is that you would take the principles that we use today, take the ones that you like, leave the rest, and hopefully leave just a little bit better than you are right now. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at learnpianolive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. That was mostly melody, but it's kind of a solo-ish thing. Anyway, we have Kendra here. Howdy, Kendra.
Hi. How
How's
are
it?
you?
I'm fine.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm
Hi.
doing great.
Hi. Good. She's moderating the chat room, and she will ask any questions that you have. If she can't answer them, she'll ask them to me. And she also I force her to participate in these lessons because I assume that if it's not making any sense to her, it's probably not making sense to you, and we want these to make sense as much as possible. And you adult students are always afraid to ask your questions. Like, I'm probably the only one that has this question, so I'm not going to ask it. That's crazy. Lots of other people have the same questions. So ask your questions, and also I'm going to try to force Kendra to ask some of your questions for you. So anyway, glad you're here, Kendra. They're all glad you're here as well. Let's talk about this thing. This is our third week now on Here Comes the Sun. And so first week we just transcribed it. The second week we reharmonized it. Is that right? No, we orchestrated it. We haven't reharmonized it yet. And now we're going to try to write a solo. We're going to pretend like we were in the recording session. We played the song so well during the recording that the Beatles were like, hey, why don't you play a solo during one of these sections? So we're going to play verse, chorus, chorus, verse, and then on that next chorus, we're going to have you play the solo. And so we are now equipped with the melody, hopefully, and the chords, if you were in the first two lessons. So you already know how those go. And then it's time to try to construct some kind of a solo here. So here's what we're going for. First things we need to do to prepare is listen to at least 3 different recordings of this song. If you've been in the previous lessons, we've kind of already done that. We know the song inside and out now. We've played through the melody. We've played through the chords. You want to play and memorize all the song and sing the words if there are words that go with it too. So we've done all of that already. If we've been in the previous lessons. If not, if this is your first lesson with us, welcome. Glad you could join us. And also you really need to go back and kind of learn the basics of the song because we can't really write a solo over a song that we don't know yet. That's not entirely true. But the best solos are going to be the ones where you're already super familiar with the melody and with the chords. Then we want to approximate or paraphrase the melody. So that's the first thing we're going to do here today is just play the melody, but approximate it. So we're not actually writing a solo here, but we're going to change some of the rhythms, maybe change some of the notes. We're already in the key of A. Hopefully that makes some sense. If not, you'll need to go back to the previous lessons. And so we're going to guess all the notes from the key of A and play kind of the melody. And if we approximate it, it should sound something like...
Wait, is that what you wanted?
Oh, yeah, no, that's great. That screen looks great. That'll be fine. Oh, you put the key of A up. Kendra, you're so on top of it. That's
okay?
why we all love you.
Oh,
Great
okay.
job. Okay, so here's the track with the approximated melody. So that would be one way to approximate the melody. Here's a different way to approximate the same melody. And this is something you'll want to do several times yourself. So now we're kind of getting farther and farther away from the melody, and there's not a great way to like tell you exactly how you're supposed to go about this, except for taking some of the notes, delaying them, some of the notes not playing them at all, some of the notes playing them early, and just kind of messing around with the melody. It's probably going to take you... I mean, if you've never done this before, it might take you 20 or 30 or 40 times through the melody to really get comfortable with this thing. Because I know, based on some of your questions and some of the email exchanges that you and I have had, that this is a really scary thing for some people. For some of you, you're already on top of it. Like, you never played it the right way anyway. You're always approximating it, which is fine, you creative types. For the rest of us, we gotta really push ourselves to try to break some of these notes out of their exact right position. So let's go again. Even more approximated. Let's make it even crazier. Here we go. Yeah, so we're getting pretty far away from the melody, but in my head, there's still I'm still kind of hearing the melody. And on that one, you notice I didn't even start for the first, 3 bars or 4 bars or something like that. So really delaying the notes or really playing them early or just getting rhythm entirely is great ways to start with approximating the melody if that's something that doesn't come naturally to you anyway. So once you've done that, you can play the melody the right way. You can play the melody approximated or paraphrase. Then we are ready to start with the chords. So hopefully you already played the chords if you were in the other lessons and we were trying some of that stuff. Now we're going to throw out what we just did. We just got really familiar with the melody, the notes, and all this approximation, all this creative endeavors, all the creative juices starting to flow. And now we're going to go back to just the straight up chords, the A chord, the D chord, the E chord, the B chord in there, and then A, D, C sharp minor, B minor, A, E. And then we're going to end the whole thing on an A. And we're just going to play the chords first to make sure that we can play through them. Let's try that. A, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, A. And then D, and then E, A, D, B, A, D. Okay, so that was all of them not arpeggiated. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but break it up into one note at a time. Any of this, but just not cluster them all together. We can also play them in any inversion or any octave that we want. So this all works for the A chord. Let's try this. 2, 3, 4. B chord, A, to the D, to the E, A. We can also come down from the top. D, B, A. Here we go. D. Yeah, so that part's a little crazy. You might want to just skip that part for right now if that's too insane. That was all pretty much going up. That wasn't anything too crazy. Now I'm going to try some inversions, which just means that I'm going to play the chord, A's and C sharps and E's, but maybe not in the proper order. Maybe we'll start on a C sharp and go C sharp, E, A, or a C sharp, E, A. Or I'm just going to pick notes out of here. This is a huge step for a lot of people. Just getting the chord out of this thing right here. But we need the A chord to be all of these notes. Right there, instead of just the set of 3 in a particular order. So here's the same exact thing. I'm playing all chord tones, but now I'm going to try to switch it up a little bit where I'm playing them. Here we go. D, E, A, D, E, A, D, B, A, D, C sharp minor, B, A minor, A, D, E. Well, the notes I think were right, but what I was saying was nonsense. So yeah, D, C sharp minor, B minor, A, E. So that right there, that's like I said, a huge step. That might be where you're like, see ya, I'm out. I got practicing to do because just arpeggiating the chords and not playing them in a particular place is a tough thing to do. But in case you're still with us, we're going to also now throw all of that out.
Hey, Jamin?
Yes?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So when do I sing do-do-do-do? I have some requests from the chat
The
to
important
sing
question.
do-do-do-do. And I don't know when to come in with that. Like, it's hard
I
to
don't
tell
know.
with just the piano.
Where does it go? Here comes
Do-do-do-do.
I think it's just on the On the third line. Is that right?
The third line?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's just one place for doo-doo-doos. It's on the third line.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you like nod your head at me or like
yes,
so I
will
can
try
see?
to do all of this stuff
Okay,
and nod
thank
my head
you.
at you.
Yeah, because you right. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
So now we're going to play the keys and the scales. So there's kind of there's a technically right but difficult way to come up with the scales. All I'm going to have you do is play the notes of the scale, the key of A. But I'm going to have you start on whatever note the chord starts on. So on a D chord, we're going to play still the A scale, but we're going to start on D. That was the A scale, but beginning and ending on D. I know some of these exercises are crazy, and for some of you, you're like, yeah, I already do this anyway. So wherever you are, that would be the D one. And then for the for E, we're going to play the A major scale, but we're going to begin and end on E. Now, the places where we're going to change this is on a chord like B, where we have a chord that or a note that's not inside of the scale. So in the case of B, this note right here, we play this chord, but this note is not in the A major scale. The A major scale is that mess right there, and these are the notes from B. So we're going to play actually the B major scale. And then for D, C sharp minor, B minor. We're just gonna play those the A major scale, beginning, ending on each of those notes, and we're gonna try to cram in as many of the notes as possible. If we don't make it all the way up and down, that's perfectly fine. We're just gonna try to play these scales along with the song. On your mark, get set. 2, 3, 4. A. E, A, D, E, A.
Do-do-do-do.
Good job. D, B major, A, D, C, B, A, E. Okay.
Wait,
so,
did I come in at the right time?
You came in perfectly at the right time. I
Yay!
totally forgot you were even there, and then that was wonderful. So all of this is really some super duper advanced skills, but honestly, stuff that like even for beginner students, I would set all of my beginner students through all of this stuff before we tried to write a solo, because the goal is just the guts of this thing inside and out. Every single chord, all the notes that would go with it and the scales that would go with it, because all that's going to become super important. That's going to have to be just like second nature to you when we get to this stuff eventually. So playing all of the keys and the scales. Now, you can write killer solos without doing any of this stuff. It's just not going to be nearly as organic until you get familiar with these types of processes, knowing what the scales are that go with each of the chords, and playing the individual chords not just in their root position, but actually having inversions for them all. Okay, so then, the last thing we're going to do before we say goodbye to our Twitch and YouTube followers and on learnpianolive.com, we're just going to get through some other serious solo writing stuff. Is we're just going to noodle around now. We've done all this crazy stuff. We can play the melody. We can approximate the melody. We can play the scales. We can play the chords, all that stuff, and now we're just going to throw it all out. Two things real quick. We are going to start with the rhythm, and we're also going to try to move mostly stepwise. Probably one of the bigger issues that I have with students, especially once they start to arpeggiate chords, is they all want to jump around a whole lot. They're like, whoa, we're in the key of A, so I've got 88 keys here that I can play, and so... Like, technically, those are all right notes. There was nothing wrong with any of those, but it sounded horrible. And in general, stuff that you're going to be able to play that's going to sound great is stuff that you can also sing really easily. And singers have a hard time jumping in big distances. So the stuff that's going to be the easiest to sing is the stuff that's mostly stepwise. Just one note away, maybe 2 notes away, rarely 3 notes away. And if you pay attention to the melodies that we transcribe, they're almost all stepwise stuff. Occasionally we'll have a jump in a song, but the majority of the songs are just whatever note you're on, and then one right next to it. So now we're just going to start with the rhythm. So we're just going to try to write some really cool rhythm that has nothing to do with the notes. We're just going to sing it. So with the track, let's try to find a rhythm that sounds cool. Da 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 da. Cool. We'll use that. Da 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 da. Da ba da ba. Da ba da ba. Now we'll try clapping that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. So, if you would if you could throw in the rhythm here, but da 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 da. That's the rhythm. Yes. Okay.
I
just kind of went with the first one that came to me, and everyone, well, not everyone, but some people at home are like, but how did you know that was the right rhythm to sing? It's not the right rhythm to sing. It is just a one that came to me. Let's go one more time.
Wait, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, you're just gonna go but da 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 da.
When you do it?
Uh-huh.
I'm following you, right?
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Okay.
You'll feel it. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da.
Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da.
Wait.
Oh.
Ba da 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 da. All right, cool. So that's our rhythm. But like I said, some people are angry at home, like, because they came up with that one. And how did you know that was the right one? So here's some other ones that you could have used also. Ba da da ga da, or ba da 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 da, or ba da 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 da, or ba da 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 da. Ba-da-da-da-da. So these are all I'm just picking rhythms from nowhere. Just taking some little clip that's memorable and then trying to repeat that enough. And hopefully we haven't forgotten the original one that we were going to use, which was ba-da-da-da-da. So that thing right there, we're going to use that and then play notes using that rhythm. Ba-da-da-da-da, or ba-da-da-da-da, or ba-da-da-da-da. Or ba-da-da-da-da, or ba-da-da-da-da, or anything that has that kind of rhythmic motif, because that was the one that stuck out to me first. So now we're just going to noodle around, mostly stepwise, trying to incorporate that rhythm. Good luck to us all. Okay, so again, it's just staying inside of the key of A, trying to move mostly stepwise and trying to incorporate that rhythm. Now I'm going to noodle around, try to remember what that rhythm was somewhere in the back of my head, but also just do the regular noodling stuff and incorporate that rhythm wherever possible. It might come out something like this. So already we've got a kind of a catchy little rhythmic motif there. We're moving mostly stepwise. We're staying inside of the key, and we are really familiar with the chords, which really prepares us to start writing a solo. We haven't really done that yet. We've just kind of noodled around, but this is the part, I guess, where we are going to say goodbye to our YouTube and Twitch followers, and for all of you who are on the website, we're going to move on to the stuff here where we're actually writing the solos. I'll just give you a quick preview of what we're going to be doing. Improvising using the melody, improvising on the harmony, using motivic development, and then general solo writing, embellishments, connecting with scales, triplets, sixteenths, rhythmic variation, and then some jazz solo writing techniques as well. So we're going to try to get into all of that in the next half hour or so.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What does motivic mean?
Motivic has to do with motif. A motif is just like a theme.
Oh.
So, da-da-da-da.
Oh, okay,
Or you
okay.
could have one that was like, we're supposed to wait until the next portion of the lesson is, but you could have one that was like a melodic motif. So if we took that last line, like if we took that motif and developed that, then we could have something like this track, yeah. So like a descending. So I'd kind of be like a melodic motivic development. I'm taking this 4-note descending line and kind of playing it in different sections to come up with something that feels like a theme. Like when I play that, I think it feels like, oh yeah, so it's like this little idea that he keeps reusing. It's not the exact same notes all the way through. But
cool.
Anyway, go ahead and send us to the beach screen actually while we say goodbye to our YouTube and Twitch.